What is going on, y'all? This is another episode of ENA We Got Time, week 4. We are just about at the quarter way of the season. First off, I want to give a shout out to Stealth Vision tank top I got on. Just came back from the gym. Y'all go check them out. They got some pretty good attire on their website. I'll put the link below, and they also do personal training for anyone trying to get right for next summer. But anyway, enough of that. Let's start off week 4, Giants versus Saints. I got the Saints 34-17. I'm going to that game. I'm a Giants fan, but I got to start being realistic. The Saints defense is for real. The Saints defense looks like how I thought the Giants defense would look, and for whatever reason, it's just not working. The only bright spot is Daniel Jones is looking good, but it's not equating to wins. So with that being said, what does it really matter? Yeah. Also, Shepard might not be playing, probably not playing, and also Slayton's probably not playing, which I don't know how I really feel about that. But I guess we go see Kadarius Toney out there. Hopefully he gets a lot of reps. And Colin Johnson, who I actually wanted in the draft, is now on the team, and he had the most targets last week. So, yeah, like I said, I got the Saints win that game pretty soundly. Not going to dig too much into that. Next, we have Washington at Falcons. Now, this is going to be a very interesting game because both of them 1 and 2, and they're kind of like Washington is towards the top of the division, and Falcons is at the bottom of the division. Uh, Calvin Ridley is off to a really slow, I don't say really slow start, a slower start than a lot of people assumed he would be. He only has a little over 200 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, I'm not going to blame all that on him. But, there was a lot of high expectations for him, being as though, Julio was he was going to have to take on that number 1 corner. So hopefully, it's a learning curve, I'm sure. So I have faith he'll be able to overcome it. Washington, they have a really good defense. So I'm going to edge Washington in this game. If Taylor Heineke can just go out there and just be a game manager, I think Washington can come out with a win. So for that reason, I'm picking Washington 21-17. Next up, we got Texans versus Bills. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. The Bills, outside of one game, have played phenomenal football, and I'm not gonna assume that they're gonna do anything different. The Texans are starting to back up quarterback. I don't want to discredit him. I'm sorry, no man. I really don't even know his name. He went in there last week. He took a beating, but he played really well. I want to say that. I want to tip my hat to him. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but he played good. It just wasn't enough. So for that reason, I have the Bills win this game soundly, 35-14. Next up, we got Lions versus Bears. I'm sure everybody's already seen the debacle of coaching last week. And the game plan or less thereof for Justin Fields. So I don't really have to go into all that. The Lions, they look pretty good against Green Bay in the first half. The Bears, they need to come up with a better game plan. They need to get Allen Robinson the ball more, I think. So hopefully they can get that done. I want to say, I think they can. And overall, I just like the Lions. I can't believe I'm saying this. I like the Lions better than the Bears. So for that reason, I have Lions 20-13. Next up, we have Panthers at Dallas. So is everybody gonna start believing me about Sam Darnold is a serviceable quarterback, or we gonna keep playing around with it? But I digress. J.C. Horn's out. Christian McCaffrey's out. In my opinion, so far this season, those are 2 very pivotal players on that team. Of course, everybody knows what McCaffrey does. He can do it all. J.C. Horn is a rookie corner who was showing a lot of promise this year and he was looking really good. So for that reason and that reason only, and the Cowboys are playing home, I'm taking the Cowboys in a very close ball game. I got that one 27-21, but I do believe that the Panthers can pull this off. I got an upset game later on, but if the Panthers win this game, do not be shocked or surprised. Next, we have Colts versus Dolphins. I want to tip my hat to Carson Wentz for actually playing with 2 sprained ankles last week. I did not think he would play that game, but he did. They lost, but he didn't look too bad. Fuller is back. He practiced. Tua's out, of course. Colts, I'm not gonna lie, I looked at the schedule, and the first 6 or 7 weeks, y'all guys could easily go 0-7. So I think, if I stand corrected, this is probably the easiest game to win of the next 3 games. Like I said, I would have to check, but when I looked at the schedule, the first 6 or 7 weeks was very, very hard. So I got the Colts finally getting them a dub this week. I got them winning 17-10. Next up, we got Browns at Vikings. Now here, get that water. Browns at Vikings. I got Vikings 27-24. I'm still really not convinced on Baker with all that he has around him. Let's not forget, when they played the Texans, that was a pretty close ball game for the majority of that game. It was not a blowout in the least bit. And I think everybody outside of Houston probably had the Texans as one of the worst teams in football this year. So I'm gonna try and pick an upset game every week, and I believe the Vikings can pull this off. They're playing at home. I believe they can, but please send 2-3 people if you have to on Myles Garrett. Nobody, and I mean nobody, even go on that side of the field. Nobody run on that side of the field, no nothing. We're going to stack everything up on the other side. We're going to put max protection on his side. Please block this man. I feel like he's trying to come for the record this year, and he very well might come close. So, but I still got the Vikings 27-24. Next, we have Titans at Jets. I think this game is going to show everybody what we thought was going to happen in the beginning of the year. Derrick Henry and Julio, I think they're going to dominate this game. I think it's not going to be that high scoring of a game because Henry's going to have, 20, 25 touches, and Julio's going to have a couple big plays. But in my personal opinion, I don't think there's going to be a point in time where anybody's like really nervous that the Titans might lose this game. And I think Zach Wilson's going to go out there like he's been doing, unfortunately, and try and play some hero ball and possibly throw a pick or 2. So I have the Titans win this game 23-14. Next up, we have Chiefs versus Eagles. Now, the Chiefs are off to a very, very slow start, and I'm not jumping off the bandwagon just yet. They've had a turnover problem the last couple of weeks. I don't expect that to continue to be a problem. The Eagles just got embarrassed by the Cowboys. I think a lot of people want to see. I think a lot of people want to see Jalen Hurts win, but I don't think that. I don't think. Excuse me for a second. Sorry about that, y'all. Housekeeping. I'm in California right now on the job. Sorry for the interruption. But yeah, so I think a lot of people don't think Jalen Hurts. I think a lot of people want him to be the quarterback, but he's shown over this season that if he's not facing pretty much depleted or poor defense, he really can't get the job done that well. There were a couple throws in the Dallas game that were really routine throws that he was just way off. So hopefully in the future he can clean that up and he can, continue to get better as time goes on. This will not be one of those games. I'm predicting Tyrann Mathieu gets a pick. I think the Chiefs get a pick, but more so Tyrann Mathieu's going to get a pick. So I got the Chiefs win this game 35-17. Next, we have Cardinals at Rams, which I have is probably a top 3 game of the week. This is the divisional game. These are two MVP front runners. Kyler Murray has just over 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns, 4 picks. Matthew Stafford has right under 1,000. He has 9 touchdowns and 1 pick, though. D-Hop did miss practice with a rib injury, so that's gonna be big. Hopefully, game time. He's ready to suit up, but with rib injuries, they're really not that easy to deal with, especially with the position he plays and the amount of hits he can possibly take and going up for those big balls. So I think D-Hop probably be at about 80%. And, when you have Jalen Ramsey on the other side, I don't think a D-Hop at 80% is going to be better than Ramsey. So I got the Rams winning this game. Very close ball game, 28-20. Next, we have another divisional game, also in the same division, Seattle versus 49ers. So big headline in this game for me is Kittle didn't practice. He has a calf injury, and he will more than likely not play. If he will play, it will be a game-time decision. Elijah Mitchell, the running back from back home, shout out. He practiced today with a shoulder injury. He was limited, but he practiced, so he more than likely will be back. Lockett, who's been tearing the NFL up this year for Seattle, he has a hip injury, so he was limited, but he did practice. Elijah Penny, fullback for Seattle, he was unlikely to play with a calf injury. But Russell has done well against the 49ers throughout his career, from my understanding. And when the 49ers are missing, their biggest playmaker, George Kittle, if he does not play, that's really going to tip the balance in Seattle's favor. I got Seattle winning 24-20. It's still going to be a close ball game, but I got Seattle pulling that game out. Next, we have Ravens versus Broncos. Okay, Broncos, you finally get to play a team who's won a game. Let's see what y'all got. I think y'all have a good team. I think Teddy Bridgewater is a serviceable quarterback. I like y'all defense. I like Noah Fant. I like Colton Sutton. Jared Judy. Hope you get well soon and all that. I think they have a pretty decent team. So I don't want to downplay them having 3 wins, but when you look at the teams that they've played, none of them have won a game. So it's like, are you really good, or are you just really good against really bad teams? So this week is going to be a week they can actually come out here and showcase to everybody, hey, we can compete and we can play with some of the best teams in the league. And that sounds good. But I got the Ravens 30-21. I don't think the Broncos can keep up with the Ravens. Also, Gordon was limited, the running back for the Broncos, but I don't think that's going to hurt too much, except for maybe on my fantasy. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. But anyway, I have the Ravens 30-21. Next, we have Steelers versus Packers. Steelers have a pretty long list of people who are either limited or not going to play. So let's go through the list, shall we? Johnson, knee, limited. Juju did not practice, ribs. Big Ben, pec, as we all know, did not practice. TJ Watt, limited with the groin. Okay, so you got 2 of your top 3 receivers. They're both second and third because Claypool's number 1 there. Limited. One's limited and one didn't practice. That sucks. TJ Watt, who's the best player on your defense, he's limited with the groin injury. And if anybody knows anything about groin injuries, they can come, they can go, and all it takes is, and it will be back. Big Ben didn't practice, so it'll probably be Haskins or Rudolph playing. And the Packers are just coming off a great game against the 49ers, winning that game at the very end. And they have a couple people, out. Jones is limited with ankle. King is more than likely not going to play. He's out with concussion. And Marquez Scanley has a hamstring. He'll be a game-time decision. But for all the deficiencies that the Steelers have and all the people that are maybe in or out of this lineup, either Packers win this game pretty soundly, 30-17. Next, we have Bucks Pats. Um, I think this is. I don't think this game is gonna be as good as everybody believes it will. Uh, I know Tom Brady wants to beat the Patriots as bad as possible. I know that Belichick wants to beat Tom as bad as possible. I know there's a lot of bad blood going into this game. I don't care what they say on the record or in interviews, on press conferences. They both want to beat the shit out of each other. The Bucks are just a better team, though. I know there was this nostalgia going play up there in Foxborough, but I don't think that's there anymore. The defense isn't exactly the same. The offense is definitely not the same. I think and this is an if Mac Jones can go in there and just be a game manager, and I mean just a game manager, dinking Dak, I think they can come out there and lose with some dignity. I think Tom Brady will try and run the scoreboard up, especially if AB is back. That would definitely help a whole lot. So, like I said, he just has to be a game manager, and for that reason, I have Bucks winning 30 to Patriots 24. And last but not least, we got the Monday night game. We have Raiders at Chargers. Derek Carr's in discussion for the early front runner for MVP, everybody, whether you like it or not. The Raiders are undefeated. They played some pretty reputable teams. Hopefully Josh Jacobs is back. He's questionable. Hopefully he's back this week. Harris, the Chargers, their slot corner, he's questionable for this week. I think this, in my opinion, I have this as also another top 3 game of the week, another divisional game. I like both of these offenses. I like both what they do. Huge fan of Josh Jacobs, like I said. Hopefully he's back. Huge fan of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, who's turned into one of Herbert's favorite targets. So I think this should be a nice shootout. And I actually have this game as the highest scoring game of the week. Not weekend, because it'll be Monday. I have this as the highest scoring game. I have this game 38-35 Chargers. All that being said, I want to appreciate y'all for sticking with me through another week. Like I said, we got some other things going on in the works. See what's up with the work schedule. We're going to get a round table going pretty soon here. And y'all just stay tuned to everything else we got going on, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all like, subscribe, comment. To everybody in your fantasy league, come, check us out, man. Appreciate all the support. Peace.